calling there every day for the last 2 weeks. Nobody been answering my calls, sending me straight to the voicemail.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Mr. Douglas, I understand that you sent a email to the mayor's office?
Yeah.
Okay. And it says here that you've been trying to get in touch with us, and you have some open cases, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you spoken with any supervisors here since,
I've been calling there every day for the last 2 weeks. Y'all
okay,
been sending me straight to the voicemail.
okay, but did you ever,
I've been leaving the voicemail every day with my name and number for the last 2 weeks.
okay, Mr. Douglas, here's your case, I'm not handling it. The individual that's handling your case is not here. The lieutenant that's in charge of the sergeant that's handling your most recent case is also not here.
Who is these people you talking about?
Sergeant McCoy and Lieutenant Saunders.
Okay, they ain't been there for the last 2 weeks?
Well, what I'm telling you is right now I have to respond to your email, and that's what I'm doing.
Obviously you not. I just said they ain't been there in the last 2 weeks.
Well, they don't work for me. So they're in and out. They are here, they're not here. I know that Lieutenant Saunders has some time off. Sergeant McCoy also has had some time off. This week he's in training. But have they spoken with you at all about your case?
You trying to avoid what my complaint is.
What's
I've
your
been
complaint?
calling there every day for the last 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
And been going, and y'all been sending me straight to the voicemail.
Okay.
And refusing to respond to my call and my message. When I leave a voicemail message, y'all refuse to respond back within 24 hours or as soon as y'all get the chance to. Y'all been sending me straight to the voicemail. I got an issue with that.
Okay.
Why is that? Why am I getting sent to the voicemail for the last 2 weeks in a row?
I can't
Every
answer that
single
question.
day.
I don't know.
Can you find out?
That's what. Okay, so that's the complaint you have?
No, that's one of the complaints. Why you trying to just brush this all off like I make one issue and you trying to hang up and say is that everything?
Mr. Douglas, this is Mr. Douglas. Talk to me. I called you, so talk to me.
You called me because I filed a complaint to the mayor, not because you wanted to.
Okay, so you have what other complaints do you have, Mr. Douglas?
Well, first of all, what's the issue with me calling there for 2 weeks in a row?
Mr. Douglas, I already answered that question. I don't have an answer for you.
Well, can you get an answer for me?
Not right this minute, Mr. Douglas. I cannot.
And I want to make a complaint about me calling there 2 weeks in a row and y'all sending me to the voicemail and then refusing to answer when I leave a message on y'all voicemail. Y'all refuse to respond back.
I got that, Mr. Douglas. I understand.
I'm addressing that as a complaint. I'm filing that complaint with you now. That's a new complaint. I want a case number to that complaint.
Mr. Douglas, I heard what you said.
Okay, well, what's my case number?
I don't have a case number for you, Mr. Douglas.
Well, give me a case number.
I'm not going to give you a case number, Mr.
You
Douglas.
refusing to allow me to make a complaint with you right now?
Mr. Douglas, right now you don't have you filed your concern. We are addressing it.
When did I file my concern? What is you talking
Just
about?
now, right now, Mr. Douglas, you just told me I have to answer this to my command staff. I'm not going to have this conversation with you, Mr. This is
You
not the
called me.
conversation.
What you mean you ain't gonna have a conversation
So
with
you
me?
don't want to talk to Mr. Douglas?
You called to have a conversation with me, didn't you?
Mr. Douglas,
So why you trying to be rude and disrespectful?
I'm not being rude and disrespectful.
So you is gonna have a conversation with me, and I'm telling you what my complaint is, and your policy is for you to give me a case number. Quit trying to avoid me filing a complaint.
I don't have a case number for you, Mr.
Well,
Douglas.
get one. This is an official complaint I'm filing with you. What's your first and last name and badge number?
Sir, my first name is Kent. My last name is Journey. My badge number is 4328.
How you spell your first and last name?
KENTJURNEY 4328.
All right, now I want to make an additional complaint.
Go ahead.
I was calling there, not just dealing with the prior mayor complaints. I want to make it. And why is you calling me at 8 o'clock in the morning? What time is it?
8:22.
Okay, y'all office don't open up to what, 9 o'clock?
Opens at 8 a.m.
All right, I got another complaint I want to file with your department.
Go ahead.
All right, but before I file an additional complaint, which I just filed one with you just now, and you're going to give me a case number to it, I want to know why your office been holding up on the complaint against Funderburk Lee. No. Why your office holding up on the complaint I made against these Jackson cops who jumped on me in Jackson, and I made this complaint 9 months ago, back in May of 2022.
Okay, so you're filing a complaint because of the delay on the complaint that you already filed?
No, I'm asking you a question, man.
I don't have an answer.
Well, how you call me to address my full complaint, but you don't got my files or no answers? Ain't like you gonna call me back until I file another complaint with the mayor. Only reason you call me now is because I wrote the mayor complaint.
I don't have an answer for you, Mr. Douglas.
Well, what's the policies on y'all dealing with complaints, opening them and closing them in a timely manner? What's that policy?
Mr. Douglas, our policy is available on public record. However, every complaint takes a different amount of time, and every investigation takes a different amount of time.
Look, you ain't got to tell me about your policies available on public records. That's like telling me to go find out somewhere else. I know it's available. I'm asking you to tell me.
And I just answered it.
No, you didn't. You told me to go somewhere else and look.
I told you that.
Don't y'all got a 6-month time limit to open and close cases?
No, sir.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you do. You gotta have a specific explanation why you go outside of the 6-month time frame.
Okay.
Don't you?
Sir, I already answered the question.
What's the answer then?
I said no, sir.
Okay, well, what's the policy?
Every case is unique and every case is different.
What's the policy number that says y'all can go over 6 months?
Sir, I'm not having this conversation with you.
Obviously you is, because you called me to have it.
Okay. Mr. Douglas, what's your complaint?
You heard what I just asked you. What's the time limit that y'all have to hold these cases?
Sir, and I already answered the question. I'm not answering it again. You
told me to go look somewhere else. Now, what's the case
I answered the question. If you didn't hear the answer, sir, I apologize. I already answered the question. I'm not answering it again.
You ain't answered because you're trying to avoid answering the question. Now, how much time limit do y'all have?
Sir,
what's the time
next
limit?
Question.
You heard what I said.
Next question.
Man, why is y'all prolonging this investigation?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
Well, go find out. What did you call me? You can't answer the question. That's my complaint to the mayor.
Investigations aren't here. I can't answer that question.
You said what?
The individuals that are handling those investigations are not here. I can't answer that question.
The individual circus clowns that you got working on my case is not there, so you can't answer the question, but it's in a file. It's not in their head. It's in files. What do it say in the files? The files is there. You there.
I don't have access to that file.
Is you the lieutenant?
Am I the lieutenant?
What's your rank?
I am a sergeant.
And you don't got access to my files. You telling me a fucking liar. You a lying pig. You do got access to my files. You stupid ass pig. That's March 29th. Now, the issue about this call is I called Miami-Dade mayor last week to complain on Miami-Dade Internal Affairs refusing to answer my calls. Been calling there every day for about the last 2 weeks in a row to check up on some prior complaints. And they've been sending me straight to voicemail pretty much ever since I talked to a chick named Lieutenant Deborah Saunders. She called me in regard to a complaint that I've made to the mayor before this call. And of course, they return your calls when the mayor called them. And Saunders was supposed to look at the body camera footage of Funderburk Lee and Zane Jones, which is 2 officers from Miami-Dade who I wrote grievances on for strangling me and calling me niggers as they strangled me and choked me. The prior investigator who worked on that case had concluded no fault against the two officers and closed the case out. So I contacted the mayor to complain on her IA officers for neglecting the investigation and lying and saying that they ain't really see no misconduct when the body camera footage clearly showed these officers using excessive force, committing a hate crime, and also when they arrested me, they didn't file in their report that they used force, which is one of their policies that they must do, that they must write they use force and why. So just that incident alone of them not writing in their report that they use force would be a violation. So the black skeezer Saunders said, well, she's going to look into it. Of course, they always say they don't got the records right now. They need some time to look over it, and they'll call me back. The woman never calls me back. 2-3 weeks go by. I'm calling there to get in touch with her. They start sending me straight to the voicemail. I leave a voicemail message. They don't respond to my call. Every day, 3-4 messages a day. So then I wrote the mayor again an email. Sometime last week. And now within a couple days, today is Tuesday, this clown called me back responding to the mayor's complaint. Not me, but the mayor. And as you see, the guy calls me and say he don't even have my files. That's a lie. Everybody worked there got access to the files because it ain't nowhere but in the file cabinet. It's not a secret locked away where no other agents can get to it. Also, why would he call me back knowing what my complaint was just to tell me he can't deal with me? He should have had somebody who could answer my questions, who had the files, who was ready. And that's just the runaround that these PIGs give us to try to sweep us under the rug and allow their pig friends to get away with the crimes that they commit. Now, I'm fully for defund the police because they get multi-millions of dollars to treat us like you seen them treat me. They don't have any answers and can't even look at the files. When the files is right there. They don't need more money, they need less money. And they need more respect. I'm for defunding and decapitating the police. And breaking their system down and rebuilding it back up with a whole completely different community group. Don't even call them police because that name is tarnished. That name is filth. We don't not only need to break down the police department, we need to break down the judicial system in whole. Because there can never be a good, honest cop as long as the prison systems is corrupt. As long as the courts is corrupt, the judges, prosecutors, and public defenders are corrupt. A police can never be good because he can only lock you up and put you in a corrupt situation that will cause you to hate society even more. Now you got a cop who don't have to lie in his arrest report, mistreat you and abuse you, treat you like a dog or a pig like he is. Okay, yeah, we can use more of them, but doesn't mean he's a good cop because there's no such thing as a good cop because the system isn't good. The only thing a cop can do is not arrest you, send you to jail, or send you to a mental hospital. There's nothing good that he can do for you. Yeah, they can arrest somebody who stole your car, but they can't rehabilitate that person to stop him from stealing your car when he get out of jail. When they put him in jail, that person gonna hate you even more because they gonna abuse him, mistreat him in jail. So I'm learning the ropes on how to chase down these pigs, chase down these politicians, learning the ropes on how to eventually start scheduling meetings so I can speak to these politicians directly, because I got enough dirt on these pigs to put a lot of them in prison. I got an open case that we was talking about where some cops jumped on me at Jackson Hospital. Like a year after Funderburk Lee, the white cops jumped on me in Miami-Dade. Some black cops jumped on me in Miami-Dade at the hospital, Jackson Hospital, over there by the government center. Pretty much did the same thing. That investigation been open over 8-9 months. And it only takes 6 months to open and to conclude a case. It's been going on about 9 months, since May 2022. This what? March 8th, 29th? Now, every case is different, but this isn't a case where you can really say it takes over 6 months to close. The officer had claimed he had wrote in his arrest report something dealing with a trespassing. He was confused as to if he wanted it to be a prior trespassing warning, and I violated that, which is what he said in his the day he was stopping me, versus his report months later when they altered it to say they was giving me a current trespass because I was panhandling and harassing customers. And that's why he stopped me on the scene to tell me to leave, and he gently put his hands on my shoulder to point to me to the direction to leave. Now, that didn't work out too well with him, because with the investigation and Jackson's security hospital cameras, it would actually show I wasn't panhandling or messing with anybody, but actually I was with a date with a Spanish female, and we was actually visitors at the hospital and going to get something to eat together. And when these guys actually saw me with a white Spanish female, they decided to attack me. Even though they might have attacked me without being with that white Spanish female, upper class white Spanish woman. They might have attacked me anyways, because they just hated my guts. And they jumped on me and her, terrified her, scared her. And now they can't justify, they got caught in their lie. They lied about something about I was at Subway's earlier panhandling. He got a call because he was working security. By the time he responded to the call, he had seen me in McDonald's doing the same thing, so he wanted to confront me to tell me pretty much leave the area. And as he was telling me which way to go, he put his hands on my shoulder, and that's how I fell and hit the ground. So he can't justify how he get to putting handcuffs on me, taking my IDs, stealing my phone, stealing my wallet and everything else. But anyways, I go and make an IA complaint about this buster. And now the Internal Affairs Office, they don't want to close the case because they can't figure out a way to justify his conduct. So those is the little punk ass little black Haitian little cops at Jackson. That was the January 20 of 2020 incident. Also told them to reevaluate the January 14, 2019 incident with the white officer strangling me, calling me niggas, and it got caught on their body camera. I went to jail and fought this case for 3.5 years and won just in July 11, 2022. Charged with resisting arrest and battery on the cop. Now that I beat this case, Internal Affairs don't want to investigate. State attorney's office don't want to answer my call when I call and make an IA complaint on them busters. State attorney's office don't want to talk to me about filing charges against the cop for a hate crime and battery. Because obviously I hadn't committed a crime. I'll just beat y'all case. And that make another conflict of interest because the state attorney's office don't want to deal with me because they prosecuted me for this charge. But their prosecution was malicious. And then when I sue them, I'm going to win. I'm going to sue the McDonald's for calling the cop. I'm going to sue the cop for doing the shit. And I'm going to sue the state attorneys for malice prosecution. And therefore the prosecutors can't on record with neutral party members say I'm the criminal and the cops is the good guys when it's on camera, them choking the hell out of me saying I'm a nigga. And they cause for stopping me was to give me a trespassing warning from a building up the street. And the law is you don't have to stop and listen to a cop when he tell you to come here and give you his name, give him your name and ID. Only thing you have to do is just leave the property. You can even do it with an attitude. You can cuss him out on the way out the door. You can tell him, you can give him a lying name. You can lie to him. You can say, yeah, I'm going to give you my ID, and don't give him shit. And fuck you. Because the law says you have the right to treat him like a regular citizen. If you don't leave, they can arrest you. If you come back after that warning, they can make you give them your ID and your name and detain you and shit like that. Well, in my case, I left and I wasn't coming back. And two, in my case at McDonald's, the police didn't even have legal justification to trespass me because to trespass somebody off of the property like a business, it's not simply the owner don't want you on the business unless it's like a private event. But if it's like the mall, convenience store, grocery store that's open to the public, it's not a members only facility, you have to be breaking one of their rules for the police to be able to trespass you or that'll be a discrimination and the police can't discriminate. They'll have to tell the owners, no, we can't trespass him. He hadn't did anything wrong yet. That's why they got in trouble for attacking them guys at Starbucks, even though the employees wanted them niggas to leave and they didn't leave. Because they hadn't did anything wrong. But, what's up, though, man? Make sure y'all hit me with that cash app. Y'all see what I'm dealing with. DACIA60. DACIA60, man. I need that bread so I can fight these police, man.